I met this girl when I was 10 years old, and what I loved most, she had so much soul. Hey everybody, it's Old School Heart back with another cultural conversation for you guys. So I hope the week has been well for you. I hope that you were able to keep cool. I heard that the United States as a whole was just hot this past week and weekend, and so I hope that you were refreshed with air conditioning, real cold water, swimming pools, and all that good stuff, because it was a scorcher here in Chicago, so I know it was hot for you guys. Do me a favor, if you love this channel, if you love the content here, go ahead and become a subscriber. The more subscribers that I have, the more that my video shows up in YouTube's feed, and the more discussions that we can have with other people. So subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit that like button if you can, and also share this video. Sharing this video is so helpful. It creates dialogue. It helps grow this channel, of course. And so go ahead and do that for me. I have missed you guys. I know it's only been a couple of days, but I have missed you guys. I've done a couple of videos already, one on Monique and bonnets and different things like that. If you haven't checked out that video, please go ahead and check that video out. I also did a video on the skin routine that I have, and so if you are struggling with getting clearer skin or looking for something to help your skin be healthy, go ahead and look at that video as well. Where My Girls At is going to be returning on Wednesday. I've been working on things with Where My Girls At, and I'm super excited to be sharing that with you guys. But we're going to do something a little bit different for this upcoming Where My Girls At, and so be on the lookout for that video on Thursdays. I'm actually going to be changing the date that I do my videos now. It's actually going to be Mondays and Thursdays, because it's really hard for me to get the videos out on Sundays, and it's really hard to get them out on Wednesday. So if nothing else, the videos will be done on late Sunday night or early Monday morning, and then also late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. So please be on the lookout for these videos. So today's cultural conversation is going to be about something I saw earlier today that really frustrated me. And I know if you know anything about what's been going on with our culture, the talks that we've been having, all of the videos, all of the discussions, then you know why I'm so upset. And so we're going to get into that in today's cultural conversation. Stick around. So guys, I was watching the new Showtime documentary that they just started on boxing, black boxers by the name of Four Kings, I believe they're calling it. I know that there was one on HBO called Three Kings, but this is Four Kings, and it's dealing with Sugar Ray Leonard and a couple of other boxers. So I'm watching that, and a commercial comes up for ABC. On this commercial is Michael Strahan talking about Juneteenth, the upcoming Juneteenth celebration. And I hate to use the term celebration because there are so many things that we are far behind on, specifically economically, that it's hard to call what this is, which is a celebration. Also, to know that there was slavery by another name. You know, we had Jim Crow, redlining, so many other things that came after the emancipation of slavery, that it's really hard to deem Juneteenth as a celebration, even though we've tried to honor this historical date as possibly as we can. Every time I think about how we celebrate these events when we haven't yet reached a level of economic empowerment or empowerment, it reminds me of what we just saw a couple of weeks ago with the Tulsa massacre, with the Tulsa reunion or whatever you want to call it, where Sheila E. was dancing and they had a line, a Soul Train line, like it was a celebration, even though Biden pretty much denied all of the reparations requests made by the survivors of the Tulsa massacre. And so this idea of Juneteenth celebration is really a tough one for me. I don't know about for you guys, leave it in the comments below, but it's something that I am working through on it being a celebration and it really being a reflective moment of where do we go from here and where have we went wrong and what do we need to demand. So that was just a quick side note. So let me get back to what I was saying basically. So I saw a commercial for an interview that Michael Strahan has coming up about Juneteenth, and unexpectedly and to my surprise, I see him saying, Barack Obama, happy Juneteenth. And I got pissed immediately. Pissed off. Because I'm trying to understand how this man born by this woman and this man, both of whom have no descendants of slavery in their lineage in America, would be the spokesperson or the person, the ultimate person to be interviewed about Juneteenth. So I wanted to have a quick cultural discussion on this. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this. But I feel as if there have been enough discussions, enough articles, enough videos, enough posts, enough books in the last couple of years where people have articulated a need to have discussions surrounding American descendants of slaves or slavery. There have been many of those discussions. Those discussions have led to conversations of reparations. And so the last presidential election, leading up to that election, there was a lot of discussion about reparations, what's owed to American descendants of slaves. These conversations have went all over the place to where people have been heated about the discussion. People have tried to dismantle organizations such as ADOS. People have spoke against it. People have argued about who's a part of it, who's not a part of it. This is something that has been way more familiar in the last couple of years than it has been in the past. Now, we all know that there has been discussions of reparations. We all know that there has been discussions of people who have a direct lineage to those that were slaves. We've had that discussion before. So at this point, I'm not understanding why Michael Strahan is doing an interview with Barack Obama, who is not a descendant of a slave. And I believe that Michael at this point should be aware that Barack Obama is not a descendant of slave, or he's being ignorant to the fact and ignoring it, or being ignorant on purpose. Now, I was about to say Dr. Kwame Brown, because he got that beef going on with Boyce right now. Kwame Brown talks about this go along, get along gang. I don't know for sure if Michael Strahan is a part of that go along, get along gang, or if he has a direct affiliation to that gang. But I will say this, defiantly going against what we've been building and what we've been talking about for the last couple of years, especially this last year in particular, it appears as if he may be a part of that go along, get along, because he defiantly interviews Barack Obama even though there has been heavy criticism from Black Americans about President Obama's effectiveness while he was in office. So there's this argument that a lot of people have made about Obama not doing anything for Black people. The economic status for Black Americans went down by a whole 10% or 20% when Obama was in office. Home ownership went down. Black unemployment was on the rise. There were so many other things that happened during this time. And so he's not ignorant to this information. He's not ignorant to some of the comments that Barack Obama has made in the last couple of months as he goes on these book tours, as he tries to explain himself as much as possible about why he didn't do the things that he did. And, you know, all of these excuses that he made. It's almost like Strahan is turning an ignorant ear to all of the criticism, to Barack Obama not being a descendant, and still defiantly going ahead with this interview. What's so funny about this interview is, if this was a remembrance for Holocaust, if this was a remembrance for anything that has happened to any other culture, they will most definitely use people from that culture to give examples, to share memories, to share thoughts, to share family lineage. You wouldn't have a Leonardo DiCaprio sharing moments for the Jewish community. You wouldn't have certain people of other backgrounds sharing memories of their family, letters, pictures, and all of that. You wouldn't have them sharing memories from another person's culture because it just wouldn't make sense. But here in the United States, what is so funny is they lump us all together as if we are one big culture when we are not. We are a distinct culture. Yes, there are Caribbean people that live here. There are Jamaican people that live here. There are people from the continent of Africa that live here, that all have separate cultures, that all have different identities, right? And they have an opportunity to make a clear distinction about their culture, who they are, what they practice, their tradition, all of that. But for some odd reason, when a Black American expresses that they are a direct descendant of American slaves here on this soil, it becomes a big problem. And not only that, it's all grouped into one, like we're all somehow connected in a way, and we are not. And we all know Barack Obama's mom is a white American woman, and his father is a Nigerian. And so he does not have a direct lineage to this country. He does not have a direct lineage. And so there is no way that him, a Nigerian, a Caribbean, or anybody can speak. And we keep getting one thing confused. These people can talk about racism in this country because we all know if you have dark skin, you can experience racism at any point. That is totally different than having a descendant of a slave directly in your lineage here on American soil. That is different than being able to speak on that issue. So Juneteenth is not about racism. Juneteenth is about freeing of slaves, emancipated slaves. That's what it's about. So if you're not a part of that, why are you speaking on it, sir? Why are you holding any type of conversation? It's not your conversation to have at all, sir. We are not talking about speaking on racism, speaking on different things that are experienced here, justice and different things like that has happened. We're not speaking on that. We are speaking on when the slaves were freed, and then what happened after that process and what led up to that process. You're not a part of that, sir. And so you should have gracefully bowed out of that. You should have gracefully said, you know what? I'm not going to do this interview. Give it to somebody who is a direct slave. Give it to Frederick Douglass's family. Give it to Sally Hemings' direct descendants. Give it to some of those people so that they're able to give it so the Tulsa massacre people can speak on this. But why you took the opportunity to interview him is just ignorance at this point. And Michael should be ashamed of himself. And I hope that we all boycott this sort of Juneteenth celebration that ABC News or ABC 2020 will be presenting in the next couple of weeks. In the next couple of days. I hope that we all boycott it, because there is no reason for that man to be speaking on an issue that he's not directly involved in. Now, when we're talking about police brutality and different things like that, where it affects any black person that lives in the United States, then fine. You can speak to certain people about that. You can speak to any culture about the abuse that they receive from police brutality and different things like that. But when we're talking about the history of slavery, when we're talking about emancipated slaves that worked and toiled on this land, talk to the people that know it. Talk to their family. Talk to all of those people that you have available to talk to. It's like the go along, get along game that Kwame talks about is really showing their ass at this point. They're really showing their ass, and they're really going against the grain because they know what's right. But they have those machines in the back of them telling them to do something opposite. And instead of saying, no, I'm going to do this the right way, they're just going to do what they need to do in order to keep on getting what they are getting. And that is a no for me. Michael Strahan should be ashamed of himself. He really should be ashamed of himself for doing that bull. And I really want to cuss, but I know I cannot. So I'm asking you guys to boycott this special. Don't watch it. Don't give him any views, because that's just a smack in the face. That's just ridiculous. That's like, man, it's just like asking Robert De Niro to talk about the Holocaust, and Frank. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It literally doesn't make any sense. It's just that for so long we've allowed people to speak for us. For so long we've let the narrative be spoken by people that are not for us. And now that we are at a point where we have said no longer will we accept this type of behavior, they push against the grain. They keep pushing. And it's tragic. It's really tragic that we're upcoming on another Juneteenth, and we still have to deal with the same old. And unfortunately, it's by people who are informed but still want to do what they want to do in order to keep the position that they have. So leave your comments down below. I would love to hear them. I would love to dialogue with you guys. I'm not going to link this special that's coming up. You can look at the preview of that if you want to. I know they're going to ask Obama some other questions about his presidency. I'm so sick and tired of all these stupid interviews where he's explaining himself again, explaining all the stuff that he said he could not do. I'm over that. You didn't do it. You had an opportunity. You failed. It is what it is. Like, move on, sir. Just move on, because you didn't do it. It is what it is. So, leave your comment below. I will see you late Wednesday, early Thursday for where my girl's at. Like this video, share this video, comment, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great night. Bye-bye.